Hello, everyone. Welcome. We will wait 1 or 2 more minutes for other participants to join, and then we will start. Okay. Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's HBKU info session. A very big thank you, first of all, for joining us today. We are very delighted to have you here. And of course, we really appreciate you taking the time to really explore what Hamad bin Khalifa University has to offer for you. The session, as you already know, is dedicated to the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. And what we want is to give you the chance to learn more about our departments, our master's and PhD programs, and the unique learning environments we offer here at HBKU. And we really hope this gives you a clear sense of what studying with us could look like. And I certainly know what I'm talking about since I am a student here at HBKU myself. My name is Pia Caesar. I'm from Germany, and I'm a student in the Master of Arts in Intercultural Communication here at this college. And to be honest, what makes this moment particularly special for me is that I once sat exactly where you're sitting now, because I attended this very same online open house session as a prospective student, listening to professors like Dr. Wissam with the hope that one day I might be able to study here. And today he is a professor I learn from on a daily basis. You will get to meet him later when he introduces the intercultural communication program. And yeah, as a student, I can confirm our professors we have at this faculty are absolutely fantastic. I couldn't ask for anything else. I didn't get paid for saying that, I promise. Anyways, I'm very excited to be your host for this session today and to guide you through everything we have planned. And that includes, let's move to the agenda. That's actually, yeah, thank you very much. As I mentioned, today we want to give you an overview of our colleges, of our college, of our academic masters and the PhD program. And you will learn everything you need to know about the admission requirements as well. And at the end of our session, we want to answer all the questions you still have. So please don't hesitate to write them in the chat at any time. Yeah, we will come back to them at the end. You can write them on the bottom right. There's a chat symbol. Just give us a message and we will come back at them later as promised. But now let's start with a welcome video by our dear provost. We seem to have a small technical issue. It will just take a moment. Remain patient.
Good morning and a warm welcome to all of you. It's a pleasure to welcome you to the Graduate Studies Open House at Hamad bin Khalifa University. Today's event is your opportunity to discover how HPKU can help you pursue advanced studies, engage in cutting-edge research, and make an impact on the world. HPKU was founded with a clear purpose: to advance knowledge, drive meaningful research, and prepare future leaders capable of addressing complex global challenges. As part of the Qatar Foundation, we are uniquely positioned within an ecosystem dedicated to education, innovation, and community development, one that connects ideas with real-world outcomes. Our university is organized around 6 colleges, covering science and engineering, health and life sciences, humanities and social sciences, Islamic studies, law, and public policy, each contributing to a broad interdisciplinary vision of education. We have recently added a new School of Economics and Management to the existing fields of study and continue to grow our scope and impact. Complementing these academic entities are 3 major research institutes that anchor our efforts in cutting-edge inquiry and applied innovation, addressing critical priorities for Qatar and the wider world. Most importantly, HPKU is a dynamic community that brings together students, faculty, and researchers from diverse backgrounds who collaborate in an environment that values curiosity, creativity, and shared purpose. You'll find world-class faculty, state-of-the-art facilities, and opportunities for engagement with industries and international partners that make learning here both rigorous and relevant. Our graduates carry that spirit forward, making a difference through leadership in academia, industry, government, and entrepreneurship. As you join today's sessions, I encourage you to connect with our faculty, explore our programs, and see how HPKU can be the place where your ideas turn into impact and your ambitions take shape. Thank you for joining us, and once again, welcome to Hamad bin Khalifa University.
Yeah, very inspiring words by our provost. Next up, we have another very inspiring professor within our university, Dr. Stephen. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Pia, and welcome everyone. We're delighted to have you with us for today's open house. On behalf of the Dean's Office, I'm delighted to welcome you for today's open house session. It's a unique opportunity to learn about a college which is incredibly dynamic. The college itself has been is one of the more central colleges which is highly connected with society, and we seek to really address some of the most pressing issues that's emerging, not only from a linguistic and cultural perspective, but also in terms of looking at the role of women and also the digital sphere as well. You'll learn about our programs through from our colleagues today in today's session, and I want to assure you that really it's joining this college is an opportunity to join a community of excellence, because it's not just our professors which really are at the forefront of their academic disciplines in terms of the impact that they make, and you will have an opportunity to work with them, to publish with them, and work under their mentorship. But you will also be joining an incredibly welcoming and supportive and engaged student environment. And as you heard from the provost, being able to actually study and learn within the Qatar Foundation multiversity ecosystem is, I think, one of the most unique opportunities that exists globally in terms of a learning environment. So overall, I just want to welcome you, encourage you to apply, and know that really you will be joining a community which will help you realize your ambitions and dreams for the future. Thank you very much, Pia. Back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen, for your opening remarks. We will now move on to the college overview. This will be presented by Dr. Wissam, a man I already mentioned. He is assistant professor and assistant dean of student affairs in the Department of Language, Culture, and Communication. Dr. Wissam, please.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you so much for introducing me. I'm really delighted, and I'm glad to speak about the college in a more comprehensive manner. Honestly, what I want to highlight here is the mission of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. What stands out is our commitment to transforming students' lives through interdisciplinary learning and meaningful research. The college honestly positions itself in a space where students are prepared to deal with real world complexities and challenges. And this is not just through theory, but through collaboration, through creative projects and global engagement. And as Professor Stephen mentioned, that the emphasis is on excellence, in the sense of nurturing socially responsible citizens and individuals and learners who can think critically, act responsibly and ethically, and contribute to both local and international communities. So there's that. What we see here is the range of intellectual and research strength across the college. It's the span that we have here, or the range that we have here, as you can see, it really spans from languages and translation to digital humanities and women's studies. And honestly, this is not just a list. It's not a list. It really reflects how interdisciplinary the college is. And students can explore different perspectives and work with faculty who bring expertise from different parts of the world and also from different research traditions. So there's that. Let me now introduce the full range of graduate programs offered. As you can see on the slide, it's divided into 2 departments and a PhD program. We offer 4 master degrees in intercultural communication, translation and the creative industries, women's society and development, and digital humanities. And together, I must say, they really show how the college blends theory with applied learning and regional expertise. Each program has been designed to respond to emerging needs in Qatar and the wider region. But you can also see that they correspond to each other in a very, appealing manner. Let me now share with you something about our faculty. You'll notice, based on the pictures, that we have a very diverse team with, international backgrounds and strong research profiles. They're not just active scholars, and that's the thing. That's the unique part about our team, but also deeply committed to supporting students' academic and professional growth. They're essentially teachers and instructors, but also excellent researchers. And this diversity of expertise is one of the strengths of CHSS. I must say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wissam. Now that we have a very nice, broader overview of our college, we want to dive into a bit more detail. We want to go and present to you the academic programs themselves. Let's start with Dr. George. Welcome. He will introduce to us the Master of Arts in Digital Humanities and Societies. Please, Dr. George.
Thank you, Pia. Thank you all for being with us today. It's an amazing opportunity to learn a bit more from inside what are our programs. I'm coordinating the Masters in Digital Humanities and Societies, and I'm extremely proud to be part of this program because, first of all, it's a unique program, I would say, across the Middle East in general, in region. We are pioneers on that. Secondly, because this program is literally on the edge of the academic excellence and state-of-the-art technologies, trying to bridge the modern evolution of technology with society problems and humanities problems. And we are looking them in a purely, I would say, interdisciplinary way. We don't focus either on technology or only social or humanity studies. We try to make the best from both worlds. We try to create unique research, and we're so happy that our students actually come here with us and do original research on issues that are really, really interesting and timely. The program has overall is 2-year program and contains 36 credits. The first 2 semesters of the program are core courses, and the third semester is a semester that the students can actually select program courses they like, either from the same program or from the inventory of courses of the college, or even wider in the HBKU. Also, the program includes internship opportunities, which is amazing because you can easily start your professional career actually already from your master's studies. There's also a last semester, which is completely fully dedicated to the thesis writing. And we think this very valuable because you have a dedicated semester to work on your research, to create all these quality indicators on your thesis that later you can progress and either publish it internationally or work in another research groups or continue even with PhD.
Thank you, Dr. George. Next up, we have the Master of Arts in Digital Humanities and the Master of Arts in Women, Society and Development, of course. And this will be presented by Dr. Stephen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pia. Yeah, so I'm in the Middle Eastern Studies department where the MA in Women's Society and Development is located, and I'm delighted to be able to talk to you about this exciting program this evening. So the MA in Women's Society and Development, it was launched in 2017 alongside the MA in Digital Humanities and Societies. It is as a degree, the Women's Society and Development, which we refer to as the WSD program, is the first and only one of its kind in the Middle Eastern region at this level. It is unique. It is one which engages with the topic from an interdisciplinary perspective, and it's also one which seeks to actually engage with complex issues that relate to the role of women, how that also relates to society and broader development as a whole from a social and economic perspective. The key issues that the degree has, I mean, it's a 36 credit hour degree, so it runs over 2 years. And in the first year of the program, this is where you would take required courses, core courses in the degree. So this includes a foundation in the context in which the subject is actually engaged with. So looking at history, politics, and cultures of the Middle East. There's also a course dealing with women and gender studies to introduce the broader concepts. Then, of course, because the degree is actually a research degree in its essence, we have our students take a research methods in women and gender studies. And that really supports then in the second year when you would go on to do your master's thesis, which runs over 2 semesters. In the second semester of the degree, in the first year, you would also engage in socioeconomic development theory, and a course dealing with women work in economic development in the Middle East. All of these look at the context, but it also looks at the issue, at the role of women in that particular context, and actually what the challenges are, how they can be overcome. But more broadly, the degree also offers an opportunity. So if you can do either an independent research project while you're doing the degree, or you can do an internship. And we would facilitate the opportunity for you to do an internship in non-governmental organization or in a company. We've had our students actually go internationally to work on development projects as part of the internship. But also equally for the students who are working full time while doing the degree, then an independent research project may be more suited. And I should also mention the digital humanities degree also offers the internship option. So this is something which, we pride ourselves to give that experiential learning opportunity. But ultimately speaking, as a degree that's been launched since 2017, we have an amazing and impactful cohort of graduates that have gone on to very interesting careers in government, commerce, and also within broader civil society. So if you were to join this program, you were to become a graduate, you wouldn't only be learning amongst an incredibly interesting group of people, but you would also be joining an alumni network, which actually can help your further career prospects. So I highly encourage you to go for it, because this is the most unique way to study the issue of women within a Middle Eastern context, and I think you would thoroughly enjoy doing it. And many of our students, I should just finally add on this, have actually completed the degree and gone on to doctoral study afterwards as well. So apply, and we look forward to welcoming you. Thanks, Pierre. Back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen. Now, next up, we have a program, the Master of Intercultural Communication, one I'm particularly familiar with because that's what I study. However, I will leave the overview to Dr. Wissam.
Thank you, Pierre. Happy to speak again. Thank you so much. And yes, an MA in intercultural communication is unique in the sense, well, it's still new to a certain extent. This is probably our third year, so to speak. So it's really unique in the region. And the program technically prepares students to work effectively across cultures by combining theory with real world practices. You'll see that, for example, during the first term, you'll take courses in foundations in cultural studies and intercultural communication. You'll also take a course in intercultural competencies and how to apply those, how to identify them and apply those at the workplace, for example, to resolve conflict and tension. And also a course, for example, in discourse analysis. So what I really want to emphasize here is that it gives you the tools. There's a utility to it, So it gives you the tools to navigate multicultural environments, something that has become, essential in Qatar and also globally. In terms of careers, our graduates, they tend to be very versatile. And they go on to roles in, diplomacy, foreign affairs, cultural institutions, even media and communication sectors, social work for sure, and education, and public relations. So, and we also offer an internship. So some of our students manage to get an internship, for example, in Al Jazeera and other equally well-recognized institutions. So it's a program that opens many doors and equips you with specific intercultural skills that are highly relevant in today's business and world. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. A program I can personally recommend to everyone. However, I'm very excited to now introduce Dr. Rashid. He is Associate Professor and Director of the Department of Language, Culture and Communication. Welcome, Dr. Rashid.
Thank you, Pia. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, everyone. Good evening. I'm sure you've heard this, unique, one of its kind programs. I think maybe this is the fourth or fifth time they can hear it. And it is so because we don't imitate, we innovate. So we, all the programs that we have, I can assure you, at least this particular one and the others that my colleagues spoke about, are in a niche area of study and research that you're not going to find anywhere else in the Arab university. So MA in translation for the creative industries. And I can hear some of you already telling me what is the creative industries. And these are sectors that generate value through creation, production, and distribution of goods and services. What does this translate to? So it translates to, we're talking creativity, culture, and commerce, and these are areas like design, media, advertising, architecture, music, museums, performing arts, publishing, software development, and visual arts, etc. So practically, and tourism, of course, now it's becoming, thing. So all these areas are really covered. We used to have an MA in audiovisual translation and another one in translation studies. And after 10 years of very successful two programs, which were validated by the University of Geneva, which really gives them that international benchmarking and quality, we decided to move with the developments, that the market and research really needs. And we synthesized, or we put these together, we merged them into the new MA in translation for the creative industries. We have already launched this. We have our first cohort. And I must say it's the biggest cohort we had, this year. So it's a fantastic program if you are in translation or if you are in research, whichever. So the emerging markets are there, and they are, if I were just to give you, before I talk about it, in terms of the monetary value or the market that the creative industries is generating. So I have some statistics, and I have Dubai, for instance. In 2023, the market was $3.2 billion. And it, that was an increase of 60% from the, 2022. In Saudi Arabia, by 2030, it is estimated that it's going to be about $20 billion in revenue, and it will create about 100,000 jobs. In Qatar, of course, we have, so the creative industries contribute about 3% of the, gross domestic product. And this is in line, of course, with Qatar National Vision, which envisions the creative industries in economic diversification and social development. So this is, I think, where you have to be. And you really, if you want to go with the trend with the emerging markets in, whether translation and services and goods and products, then this is really for you. So the MA in the creative industries, you'll be looking at, it's good in a way because it blends theory and practice. And it is, you have two tracks. If you want to go in research, then you take the research track. If you want to be a practicing translator, then there are courses that you can take, and then you'll do the capstone project, and you have the independent research project that you will do to enhance, mainly for the practical aspect. If you're doing research, then you do the internship, and you do a thesis, a research thesis. This is the study plan for the full time. So you can see there is a blend of theory. So you have foundational courses like translation studies, like you'll have the trends in translation for the creative industries. And you have the practical aspects, like you have the transcreation skills and practices, translation tools, etc. So this will equip you in whichever way you want to go, whether you want to go research or whether you're going to go practice. We have these courses You will have as well 2 electives that you can choose from. One in the second semester, one in the third. The third semester, you'll have like after the spring semester, usually it's around May, you'll do the internship or the independent research project, which is really putting your what you learned in the 2 semesters into practice and hone your skills. It's a 36 credit hour, which means you have the core courses and you have the thesis or the capstone project. This is the full-time as well for the practical. You can see the electives are critical because you can focus more on the practical aspects. Some electives that you can take, you have project management, for instance, you can have more on translation tools and practices that you can have. Audiovisual as well, you have the intersensory modules in terms of accessibility and disability studies. So, and we have injected the program with AI tools now. Even, we have the voicing, for instance, or the subtitling. We're using all the tools, the AI tools. So it's really a very innovative program, and I think it will be very rewarding. We hope that you will apply to this program and join us in the next cohort. Next, please. I think I covered the practicals, and these are some of the courses and some of the core courses for research, which I have already as well covered. But for a second, if you just want to take a picture or something for those of you, or if you didn't have a chance to visit our website, this is for the practical, and then. Next. Yeah, these are the electives. Now the electives, you can take from the ones which are very specific to the program, or you can go and take cross programs. So you can take others from the intercultural communication or digital humanities, women's studies, so through the college. And you have the opportunities as well to even go beyond the college to other colleges as well, with some approvals. Of course, if they are, the electives are aligned with your study plan and with your career path. So yeah, that's it. I think the last slide is the faculty who are on the program. Some fantastic experts here, and I'm sure you'll have fantastic learning opportunity here. So welcome, apply. And I'm not paid again. I'm paid, but I'm not paid. Welcome. We'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you, Pia.
Thank you, Dr. Rashid. That wraps up our master's programs, but we have one more left, and that's the PhD in Humanities and Social Sciences. And I hand over the microphone to Dr. Stephen again.
Thank you so much, Pia. So the final program that we have in the college is our PhD in Humanities and Social Sciences. This is designed for graduates who already have a master's degree, and it's currently comprising 53 students in our PhD cohort, so it's the largest program that exists within the college in terms of student numbers. And it's also the most creative in many respects, because here we have a very diverse range of students dealing with on their based on the topics that they're actually engaged in on the PhD program. It's a 4-year program. What happens is, in the degree, you have the first year comprises taught courses. This gives you the foundation that you need in interdisciplinary understanding, because ultimately speaking, this as a degree, when you look at humanities and social sciences combined, it's interdisciplinary in scope, but that also allows for the most creative application of your topics to be achieved. And that really positions this degree at the cutting edge of doctoral research. And really the type of topics that you'll be able to engage with really depend on what we can actually supervise. So I would highly encourage you to be looking at our faculty profiles, the research and specializations that they engage with. And as long as it's something that we can cover, it's usually something that we'll be we would welcome you to actually join. But in terms of the study plan, let me just go tell you a bit more about that. So in the first year, you do, as I mentioned, taught courses. So you would do a pro seminar course, which is really introducing you to the doctoral journey. And it really is a journey in many respects, one of personal growth and development. And, you know, it really is one that you can unlock that creativity to the highest level. You would also be engaged in advanced research methods. You would do a course on that. And the third course you would take in the first semester is an elective. And that's an elective you can take from any degree across the university. So it's because we want you to have disciplinary breadth. And then in the second semester, you would do an independent research under the supervision of your supervisor, where you would be engaged in the readings and topics related to your focus area. And you would also do another taught course on interdisciplinarity. And that would really, you know, give you the theoretical perspectives that you would need to augment your degree. You would also do one other elective course. And then after that, that's when you would start doing the next stages in the process, which is a qualifying exam, which is where you would have to develop very long literature review on a number of texts on the topic that you're engaged with. And that's for us to assess that you actually have the breadth of understanding that you would need to engage at doctoral level. And then after that, you would do a comprehensive exam. And that's really when we would assess you on the final version of your research project for the PhD. And of course, what we ask for in the application stage is a preliminary research proposal. And that preliminary research proposal is about 2,000 words. Details are listed on the website. But by the time you're in your second year, that's when you would really finalize and then really develop that final research proposal to the highest level. And then you would start doing the field research, and then you would do the write-up in the final remaining period of the degree. What I can tell you is it's an incredibly rewarding degree to be engaged with, and it really is a journey. It's something where, you know, with the right mentorship and support that we provide in the college, you can really unlock that potential. We would work with you so you can actually publish, get publications in a couple of journals as part of the graduation requirement, because what we're trying to do is position you to take on a career as a faculty member. And we would work with you as a colleague. I mean, you may be our student, but we would be working with you as a colleague because really you are working at the highest level. But also there are a number of our students who are wanting to do the PhD, but not necessarily work as a faculty member at the end of it. And that's fine. They want to do it for their own professional growth and continue working in the field. That's perfectly if that's your intention, you would be joining a number of students who are currently doing that. But as I said, we have about 53 students in the program as a whole, and it's an incredibly competitive degree to get into. It's the one that draws the highest number of applications in general. But what we're looking for is people who have the intellectual capacity, the solid background in their academic profile to show us that you can achieve it. And we're looking for a preliminary proposal to show that this is a reason, this has an area of potential for doctoral research. But again, we're not expecting you to, you know, come up with groundbreaking research like Einstein. It's really just you have to make a modest contribution to world knowledge, because ultimately that's what a PhD is. It is a contribution to world knowledge, and you know, PhD is a doctor of philosophy, ultimately speaking. So you will be someone who is creating new knowledge and at the forefront of it. But anyway, I'm happy to answer questions later, and we look forward to receiving your application. Thank you so much. Pia, back to you.
Thank you so much. That wraps up our academic programs. Thank you to all our professors for introducing them. It's time now to move on to a topic I expect many of you to have a lot of questions about, and that's the admission and application requirements. And I now hand over to a true expert in the fields, to Ms. Noura, who is part of our admissions team. Welcome.
Hi, thank you, Priya. Hi, everyone. Let me take you to a very crucial part. It's the application process and the requirements that you will need to apply for our programs. So let me remind you first that the admission is now open. And the deadline for international is 1st of February. For Qatari and resident who are seeking for funding is 15th of March 2026, and the late admission for Qatari and resident is 3rd of May. So first, let me take you up for the requirements of master programs. So to be eligible for our master programs, you have to have a bachelor degree from recognized institution. Of course, you have to apply online. Please remember that we only review the online applications. Sometimes we receive applications through the email. We receive transcripts. We receive, CVs. This is not accepted, only online applications. You have to go online through our official website and start your application there. Of course, we will need your academic transcripts, and it should be official. It should be completed. It should be either in English or Arabic. If it's in another language, please, you have to provide us with an official translated copy. Also, your GPA should be 3 and above. Also, you have to provide a grading scale. The grading scale, if your GPA is out of 4, it's fine. You don't have to provide it. But if it's out of like 100 or out of 10, please provide us with a grading scale. And we have a lot of questions that what is a grading scale? It is the system of grading. You will find it sometimes at the back of your transcript. Sometimes you can find it in your university website. Also, you have to provide us with a personal statement, usually from 300 to 500 words, sometimes to up to 1 page. You should write why you are interested in this program, and what if you study this program, how it will contribute in your personal objectives, in your personal achievements. Also, you have to submit a CV. The identification document, we need a copy of your passport for the international. For Qatari and resident of Qatar, we need both copy of the passport, and Qatari ID. Also, we need an IELTS of 6.5, an academic IELTS, and it should be valid for 2 years, or TOEFL 79. Let me remind you that we don't accept, unfortunately, we don't accept Duolingo test, we don't accept TOEFL IBT. And in case that your previous degree has been instructed in English, you can submit an English proficiency letter. And this will replace the IELTS and TOEFL exam. Test. Also, we will need from you an application fee of 250. It could be done bank-to-bank transfer, or it could be done through a link. You will find it in the website. Let me move to the requirement for PhD. Some requirements are similar, but also online application, you will need bachelor and master, of course, transcripts. You will need also the grading scale, the personal statement, CV, your IDs, the TOEFL and IELTS. But for PhD, you will need also 2 recommendation letters. It is preferable that it comes from an academic referee, or at least 1 academic referee. Also, you will need to submit a research proposal, as Dr. Stephen has mentioned before, of 2,000 words, and also the application fee. Please remember that if you have any question about admission requirement, about the process, you can of course call us on the number on the presentation, or you can send us an email on the admissions.chss@hbku.edu.qa. And good luck for everyone. That's it for the requirements.
Thank you so much, Noura. Yes, let's move on to the last part, which is scholarships and tuition fees. Just a quick reminder to everyone, you can ask us questions in the chat now. If you have any questions, anything that's unanswered still, please message us and we will go through them after Dr. Wissam explains us a bit about tuition fees and scholarship.
Yes, thank you, Pia. Well, let me just walk you through the numbers here. So for example, for the Master of Arts in Intercultural Communication, it's 97,500 riyals, and for the Masters in Digital Humanities, it's 90,000, and you can see also for Women's Studies, it's 90. Same thing for translation for the Creative Industries, and the PhD in Humanities and Social Sciences is 150,000. You can also see the other numbers, for fees per credit hour, and also the total program credit hours required for each program, and the program duration. I mean, this is tentative, especially if you want to go part-time, then it takes longer than 2 years. The PhD program, as Professor Stephen mentioned, it's about 4 years. But realistically, maybe it's a longer journey. But that's something for you, it's your destiny for maybe to find out. So yeah, there's that. These are the numbers that we wanted to share with you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wissam. Now, as far as I'm concerned, we can move on to the Q&A, or is there another point before that? I think we're good to go to the Q&A. Okay, let's see. So,
قسم المشاركة الطلابية في إدارة شؤون الطلاب هو أحد الأقسام الداعمة للطلاب في جامعة حمد بن خليفة، والذي يسهم بشكل كبير في دعم الطلاب وإشراكهم وإخراطهم في الأنشطة غير الأكاديمية. هناك أنشطة رياضية، هناك أنشطة ثقافية، هناك أنشطة تعليمية، جميعها تكون خارج المنهج التعليمي، ولكن كلها يصب في النهاية نتائجها تصب في النتيجة التعليمية لكل طالب.
كل سنة الفرق عندنا عددها يكثر. عندنا لحد الآن 6 فرق رياضية، فريق كرة قدم فئة بنين، فريق كرة سلة فئة بنين وبنات، فريق كرة طائرة بنين وبنات، وعندي فريق فئة شباب كريكت.
احنا طبعا نتواصل في إدارة شؤون الطلاب من خلال إدارة التواصل المجتمعي وشؤون الطلاب مع الجامعات الشريكة الموجودة في قطر فاونديشن من خلال ما يسمى بالكارير سيرفيسز اللي هو الخدمات المهنية. قمنا في السابق في موضوع اللي هو المعرض المهني كارير فير. أيضا عملنا في السابق برنامج كان لقادة المجتمع، دعينا فيه معظم رؤساء الشركات وأيضا بعض الوزراء للتعرف على الجامعة وتعريفهم ببرامج الجامعة اللي تطرحها.
احنا في إدارة شؤون الطلاب نهتم خاصة في ناحية العلاقات المجتمعية، كتوقيع اتفاقيات، كزيارة الشركات الخاصة والغير خاصة للتعريف عن جامعة حمد بن خليفة، وتواصل اتفاقيات من ناحية توفير فرص للطلاب أو للخريجين، أو أنك إذا شركات أو القطاع الخاص عندهم مثلا وجهات نظر كالتعاون ممكن احنا نخدمها تحت اطار اتفاقيه او تحت اطار اللي هو تعاون مشترك ويانا.
Yeah, please excuse me, everyone, for wanting to skip this wonderful video, especially as I am a student who certainly benefits from what has been said here. I'm part of several sports teams, such as volleyball, even football. We just introduced a running club, so there's plenty of things to, explore here at HBKU for us students. Now it's actually time to head into the Q&A. As I said, you can still ask questions. I know there's a few already that came in. The first one I will ask is for Noura. How long does it usually take to receive an admission decision is one question.
Hi, Pia. So we are already open now from February. So hopefully they will receive the decisions because we closed at the like late of June, and then the decisions could take like 2 or 3 months. It depends on the volume of applications that we received. So, but of course they can also contact us via email, and we can give them like an estimation. So it depends.
Okay, thank you very much. We want to move on to the next question because there's many. Is there an age limit for PhD applicants? If someone is over 40, is it possible for them to be accepted in the PhD program? I think, Dr. Stephen, this is a question for you.
Yeah, in simple answer, no, there's no age limit. And actually, we've had one of our PhD students who was in their 60s. So there's no limit in terms of when you can actually enroll in the program.
Maybe another one for you, Dr. Stephen. How can we determine our eligibility for PhD scholarships? Is there any comment from your side?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, the scholarships that we have are competitive, and you would apply for when you apply for the enrollment in the degree, and this applies to all degrees, by the way, PhD and non-PhD, we would automatically consider you would have to say on the admissions process whether you want to be considered for scholarship or not. If you answer that you do, then we would actually then consider you for scholarship. But there's nothing more that you can actually do to enhance your chances, really, because it's really on a competitive basis. It depends really about who, the other students that are there. But my sense is that opportunities are there, and also if you're applying, then I'm sure that you would stand a good chance. So I would always recommend it.
Amazing. And one more follow-up question. Are there any accepted alternatives to the TOEFL or IELTS for demonstrating English proficiency?
No, I mean, it's only those two options. It's either TOEFL or IELTS that we would accept for a language proficiency test in English. But the key thing is you only need that if your previous degree was not taught in English. If your previous degree was taught in English, then it's that requirement is waived.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let me go on to the next question. Is the PhD it's actually another one for PhD, so let's just stay here. Is the PhD program suitable for someone with a full-time job?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we have a number of our students who are doing full-time jobs, and they are locally based in Qatar. And I would say the majority of the students that we have who are residents or Qataris, they're all in full-time employment. There's just a few who are not. But what that basically means is it comes back to the point that Dr. Wassam highlighted earlier, that if you are working in full-time employment, you also have to manage your expectations on how long it will take you to finish the PhD. But ultimately speaking, if you're doing it on a full-time basis, so you're not working, then you should estimate to do it in 4 years. But if you are working, then this could take you longer, and the maximum that you can actually do the PhD is up to 7 years, and that's a firm, a fixed cutoff date. So you would have to finish the PhD within that period. But yeah, it's not a problem for people to do it full time. You would just have to manage the taught courses in the first year. But I just can assure you that whether it's for the PhD or for the master's degrees, all of our courses take place from 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. So actually it's designed and structured in a way to cater for those people who are in full-time employment. So um, it's not a barrier. So I'd encourage you to apply.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We have a question I would like to direct to Dr. Rashid. And the question is the Master in Translation for the Creative Industries program tailored for only native speakers of Arabic or English? Can non-native speakers apply for it?
Thanks, Pia. Fantastic question. This is a question we've been debating actually for a few years. Unfortunately, because it is a translation program, so proficiency in the Arabic and English is mandatory. They don't have to be native Arabic speakers. They can be non-native, but as long as there is a mastery of Arabic, then they can join. And we had some cases before. Especially for those who want to go into the research path, because it's not going to require too much of practice in terms of translation work. So that is, I think, where non-native but Arabic proficient speaker can join the MATSI. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We have another program-specific question. This one is for Dr. George. What are the core and the elective courses of the Master in Digital Humanities?
Thank you, Pia, and thank you. I think it's Maram that actually asked this. So Maram, there, as I said before, core and elective courses. The core courses, I will give you a very quick overview, is history, politics, and cultures of the Middle East, research methods, methods in digital humanities, digital communication and media, the global digital transformation, social economic and development theory, and the current elective courses, it's Introduction to Human Language Technologies, Arabic Natural Language Processing, Civil Society and Digital Activism. And these are just some of the available electives. As new faculty are joining the program, new electives are developed, and this list keeps getting bigger and bigger. Pia, you're muted.
Thank you very much for letting me know. We have a follow-up question, actually. What are the job opportunities that could be offered for a Master's in Digital Humanities degree? And maybe you can also go into detail in how could one prepare him or herself for the program?
Okay, fantastic questions both. Professionally speaking, a Master of Digital Humanities is a really, really flexible academic degree. We have students that had a very specific professional background, but at the end of the program, they moved in completely different industry. And of course, the available options are cover everything from media studies, from digital publishing, even in computational and AI startups. So media organizations, of course, political communication, companies communication. There are so many, because anything related to digital, I would say, conceptualization of the communication goes through the skills that the students get from this program. And in the question what it needs to get into this program, I would say you have to be literally very flexible, curious, scientifically curious student, and you have to love technology. You have to be really dedicated to try to understand our society through the lens of multidisciplinary approaches, and of course be ready to change, I would say, completely orientation. So you might have a humanities background, but you have to be quite flexible to go into the engineering, computer engineering background, and explore the courses there. And the other way around, of course. So it needs scientific curiosity and flexibility.
Thank you very much. Let's move on. We have a lot of questions for Ms. Noura, because that's pretty much admission related. For example, is Arabic actually, this I might be able to answer other people too. Is Arabic proficiency mandatory for international students?
Well, that will
No.
depend on the program they are applying for, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, for example, for my program, Intercultural Communication, I don't have to have any Arabic proficiency. However, maybe also good information for all of you. We do have free Arabic language courses here at HBKU, which I benefit from. So if you are interested in learning Arabic, even though it's not required in your program, you might want to take these courses here. Another question. If my transcript isn't available due to the war circumstances in my country, what should I do?
Unfortunately, that transcript is a requirement, and we cannot, proceed reviewing any application without a transcript. So maybe he could, ask the university to give him a new copy, but this is a crucial requirement. We cannot proceed without a transcript.
Thank you very much. Another question you might be able to answer. Would like to know how many students are admitted per year and roughly how many of them are international students. Is it possible to get into the program directly after completing an undergraduate degree, or if the university usually prefers applicants who already hold a master's for intercultural communication, for example? So many questions at once.
So basically, I think it is, yeah, if I may on this one, I mean, international students, practically we have 2 students per program as it stands for, we don't take more than 2 for now. In terms of, yeah, whoever is applying for an MA doesn't need to have an MA to apply for that. I mean, actually, we usually, they are at a disadvantage because they already have an MA. So, we want to give opportunities to other people who want to pursue an MA. But it depends on circumstances, it depends on, the applications. But usually that is the trend. I mean, if we receive BA students versus MA students for an MA, we definitely prefer or will take or give preference to the MA student, the BA students. And for the PhD, of course, you need an MA at least, yes.
Thank you very much. Another question. I have completed my PhD application and only the payment of the fees remain. Is it possible to pay them in US dollars? Noura, maybe?
Yeah, Priya, yeah, for sure, he can pay it on US dollar. He just have to attach it to we have like supplemental items, and it should be there. It should be attached. Just a copy of the receipt. That's it.
Perfect. I just saw a question that kind of relates to the one before. Can I apply for another master's program even though I already hold a master's degree? Maybe Dr. Rashid, you can follow up. Is it possible to apply?
I would say it is, but I think in terms of scholarship, maybe they, if they are able to self-fund, maybe I think it will be considered. I think for scholarship, I don't think they will. Dr. Steve, can you confirm that, please?
Yeah, I mean, when you apply on the online system, I mean, Nora can comment on this, you can select more than one program, and you would be considered respectively by both programs. But I think it's only up to 2 programs you can apply for. Nora, can you comment on that, please?
Yes, Stephen. So each applicant can apply up to 2 programs. And then some of our applicants, they receive 2 offer letters, but at the end of the day, they have to choose one program.
Okay, I hope this clears things up. Let me find the next question. Yeah, is there an applicant fee for the scholarship too, since we just spoke about scholarships?
Yes, of course. The application fees is for everybody. You have, even if you are applying for a scholarship or you are not applying, it's one of the admission requirements.
Okay. Another question. If my faculty considers the graduation certificate as a sufficient proof for completing my degree in English instead of the proficiency letter, as it clarifies that my language of study was in English and that I was also in the English section. In addition to a bachelor's degree, transcript will also include the subjects I've studied in English. So yeah, I think just want to get ensured that the graduation certificate can be accepted as an alternative for the proficiency letter. I think this question has been answered already, right? If the degree is in English and completed in English, we don't need a English proficiency letter, right?
Yes, but it should be mentioned in the degree. It should be like it says like this is major in English or English and literature, or it's at some transcripts they have that the language of instruction, it's stated already in the transcript. The language of instruction is English, so they don't need an English proficiency letter.
Perfect. I hope this clarifies things. Dr. Stephen, a question for you. Does enrolling in a fully funded PhD program allow me to bring my children with me, considering that I am married and a mother of 3? And does the university provide housing?
Sorry, my connection lost just as you started. Can you repeat the question, please?
Of course. Does enrolling in a fully funded PhD program allow me to bring my children with me, considering that I'm married with a mother of 3? And does the university provide housing?
The university, the scholarship that is provided for a PhD it comes with a tuition fee waiver and also a stipend, but it doesn't provide housing. So it would be a case that you would have to make your own arrangements for the housing. You, of course, are eligible to go and live in the university, in Qatar Foundation housing. And they do have family accommodation there, which caters for, of course, children, young children. That's not a problem. But that's something that you would arrange separately, and it's based on your budget about which you would pay from the stipend. Or if you're coming self-funded, then of course that's what you would do. But it's not something that it's not Hamad bin Khalifa University housing. It's Qatar Foundation housing. But I can assure you the housing is exceptionally good. But yeah, I mean, it's quite. We have existing students who have brought their children with them and are living with them, and while the parent is undertaking the PhD. So it's definitely possible.
Yes, I live in the student housing. I can confirm it is exceptionally, very, very good, top notch. I would describe it like this. So yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Stephen. Maybe another question for you.
Sure.
I'm very interested in pursuing a PhD here. Could you please share what funding or assistantship opportunities are available for international students? Maybe we can clarify.
Yeah, I mean, if you are I mean, as I said, the PhD program receives an exceptional number of applications. You know, we may get more than 500 applications, or say 600 applications for about eight places. So it is fiercely competitive. Um, and then within that, we have a limited number of scholarships that we can actually offer internally. The scholarships come with a tuition fee waiver, so it wouldn't it would cover the tuition fees, and also it would come with a stipend as well. But we also have some students who are coming and they're getting funding from different agencies. So this could also be from non-governmental organizations, or if the person is living in Qatar, Qatari, they may be able to get it from the Ministry of Education, where it can actually get funding from there. So it really depends on the funding entity. But I can assure you that the rates are means tested, and it's a generous stipend that would actually cater for you. And but it is that's designed specifically for international students, and those ones are very limited in numbers. So what I would encourage you to do is to be applying widely. That's the best strategy. That you should be looking for many different agencies and funding organizations that exist globally if you're an international student, and then use that to actually augment your funding. But beyond that, I mean, we do have some students who are self-funded. They're doing their PhD on a self-funded basis, or their MA on a self-funded basis. But then the university does have employment opportunities. And those employment opportunities could be, for example, working in the library. It could be, working as a research assistant to a faculty and then earning some money from that. Or even other employment opportunities could exist in Qatar, because if you're an international student, you would be given a residence permit, but then you would have an opportunity to go and look for, employment. And that has happened. We've had some students that they've been they've come self-funded, they're given sponsorship, but then they find a job while they're in Qatar, which self-funds their studies as well. So yeah, opportunities do exist.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Another question that goes hand in hand a little bit with what we just discussed. What if I apply for the PhD scholarship while my master's GPA is 2.8, but my thesis grade is excellent? Is it possible to take additional courses to meet the requirements and continue with my application? What would you say?
I mean, it is possible to apply. I mean, we do have but we look at you as an overall applicant. We look at your overall profile. But strictly speaking, for the PhD program, it should be a minimum of 3.0. But if you have mitigating circumstances why you did not get a 3.0 on your master's dissertation, then you would need to get in contact with the admissions side in the college. So you would get in contact with your prospective supervisor and discuss your unique case. And if it's decided that actually there is potential, then we can look at your application further and then look at a holistic review. But again, you have to be realistic about the prospects, because the volume of applicants we get for the PhD program mean we're getting students with incredibly high GPAs, and we have a limited number of places. I mean, as I said, we've got about 50 plus students in the college at the moment, and we accept around about 8 per year. So you have to be mindful that actually it's you're competing against a very high number. So but I would say the best strategy though is just to contact a potential supervisor who's in your particular area and discuss your case with them.
Thank you very much. Next question I would like to direct to Dr. Wissam. It is about the Master of Arts in Intercultural Communication. What are the language prerequisites? And what's the studying language?
Like the programs, the language of instruction is in English, and the requirement is either IELTS or TOEFL tests. And if the language of instruction in your previous program was in English, then a letter from the issuing institution would suffice. But that's the general policy applicable to all programs across college. You're muted, Pia.
Again, thank you so much. What is the required academic background, Dr. Wissam? Maybe briefly.
We get applications from quite a wide range of applicants. Honestly, there is no specific requirement in terms of what your bachelor's degree is in. We accept applicants coming from a wide range of disciplines and specialties. So nothing really specific. I mean, even sometimes we accept people who are not necessarily from the college or within the scope of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. It's possible. So there's no restriction on that per se.
Yes, maybe a little tip from student to students. I studied business, and I think a lot of the time it's also about your motivation and your future plans. And stating this clearly in your application is a key. So just to follow up on that. Dr. Wissam, one more question. Are there any preparatory steps I should keep in mind if I'm planning to enroll in a master's program in intercultural communication?
Not really. Just write your letter very well. There is a letter that you need to submit as part of the package. Tailor it in a manner where you present your case and you say why you're interested, what are the skills that you're going to bring to the program. So you just write it in a way that in an effective manner, so you can present your case, in a very appealing way. That maybe that's the only that could be a deciding factor. So there's that for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Let's consider that you are invited to an interview. We have a question. Maybe Dr. Stephen, you can respond to this. Will the interview then be conducted in Arabic or in English? The question regards to a PhD program.
The interview will be conducted in English because the program is in English. And likewise, the actual research proposal should be submitted in English as well.
Okay. And another one for PhD. Is it possible in a PhD degree to have co-supervisors from across HBKU's departments besides CHSS, or even from an international, like different university?
Yes, it is possible. And that's something you would need to discuss with your supervisor. We do have cases of where that's taking place. And because, a co-supervisor is someone who can supplement the specialized knowledge base that the student actually provides. I myself am supervising several students. Some of them actually do have co-supervisors, and in one case, it was from a faculty from a different university.
Thank you so much. A very interesting question here. If someone is already a staff member of HBKU, do they need to take official permission from the relevant dean or department to start the PhD in parallel with the job?
No, they don't. It's people have freedom of choice. So if they want to apply for the degree, they can do.
Thank you very much. Then we have another general question. Can I get a housing opportunity as a master's student at Qatar Foundation Housing? Yeah.
Yes, it's possible. Yeah.
Definitely possible. What else do we have? Do we have to pay fees for the 2 chosen programs we're applying to? Noura.
Yes, Pia, it's only one time. They have to pay one time, and then she can apply both the one receipt to the both programs. But it
Okay.
should be for like it should be for this year. I hope it's clear.
Yes, otherwise just
She can use the same receipts for the 2 program.
okay, perfect. So you just pay once for both.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, another question. 1 second. Okay, let's ask another PhD question. Is there a difference between applying as an international student or a resident in terms of the acceptance rate and the scholarship?
Yes, there is. Well, firstly, there's a difference in terms of the timeline. So you need to be mindful of the deadline for applying as an international student, that it comes before a resident. And I think Nora has already mentioned that. In terms of the scholarships, yes, we have more scholarships available for in our programs for people who are resident in Qatar, who are living here, because that's in those cases we only provide a tuition fee waiver or a percentage tuition fee waiver. We don't provide a stipend. An international student who's coming externally to Qatar, they are eligible to apply for a scholarship, which actually does come with a stipend in addition to a tuition fee waiver. Because of that, it costs a lot more. And for that reason, we have a lesser number of scholarships available for international students. So, to answer your question, there are less available, so it's even more competitive.
Thank you very much. We have a follow-up question from a question earlier. I have my Bachelor of Arts in English. Noura, maybe you can respond to this. Bachelor of Arts in English, but it's not mentioned that the language of instruction was English. But my major was pure English literature, and I'm here in Qatar. Sadly, can't get any paper from Lebanon till summer because of the situation there. So, can I apply in fall? Is that possible?
If her BA is in English, she can apply. She do not need IELTS or TOEFL. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I guess it's mentioned because earlier we said it has to be mentioned specifically on the certificates that the language of instruction was English. And in her case, it seems to not mention it.
No, but she said she have PA in English, so she
Yes.
don't need IELTS. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I hope this answers your question. Then we have another question for perhaps Dr. Stephen. I'm coming from a public policy background. Is it possible to contact a supervisor from CPP?
The supervisor should be someone from within CHSS. However, it is possible to have a co-supervisor from CPP. But the first thing you need to do really is to identify a potential supervisor from within CHSS, have a conversation with them, and then you can discuss possible supervision arrangements with someone from CPP. And then, your application will be considered along with all the other applications. But for all applicants for the PhD program, the first thing you really should be doing is actually looking at the profiles of the individual faculty and actually working out who potentially you could work with. Because if you apply, for example, on a topic which it may be incredibly innovative, topical and needed, but we just don't have the in-house expertise to supervise it, then your application will be rejected. So again, it's always important to actually have that conversation with potential supervisors beforehand.
Thank you. I see a few questions regarding the amount of acceptances of international students. How many international students does the university accept? It's a broader question. Can we answer it, or is it different from program to program?
It varies. I mean, that's a tough question because it varies each year, and it depends on the number of students who are applying, who are coming, with their own funding, and different funding arrangements. So it really does vary on, and also those who actually need scholarships and what we can actually support. But the majority of our students that we have are locally based students who are coming in for the who are applying as residents or Qataris. But in terms of the potential for international students, it's a smaller proportion, but it's an important community.
All right, thank you so much. And here's another one regarding housing. Could housing be outside university for scholarship master students? Can they also find their own housing?
Absolutely. The given student has full flexibility on arranging their own housing, but I think as Pia has said already, the housing that actually is offered in Qatar Foundation is exceptionally good. I mean, frankly, if I was doing my degrees again, I wish there was housing as good as what it is in Qatar Foundation, because it really is exceptional. So, and also they are at a more affordable price than in the private sector. So I think it's anyone who's coming for the first time to Qatar as an international student should really be looking at Qatar Foundation housing.
Thank you so much. We have another one regarding the language proficiency test. It's expiring in January. Can I apply before the expiry date, or I am obliged to retake it again?
It's expiring in January, so I think you have time to apply. You can apply with it, actually.
If I recall, I think the IELTS are valid for 2 years. So as long as it's been taken in the last 2 years, I think it is still valid, if I recall properly. So it shouldn't be a problem.
Go for it. The next one is, I have a doctorate degree in language studies. Can I enroll to do a second PhD here at HBKU?
Well, you can certainly apply for one, and you can enroll. And in fact, we already do have one PhD student who already has a PhD who's currently enrolled in the program. So yeah, you can.
Okay. Here is a question. If I'm self-funded, will I still get the chance to get hired at HBKU as an RA or TA, research assistant or teaching assistant, as an international student?
Yeah, as an RI, yes. I mean, international students are required by policy to do, an RA, to be a research assistant. They have 10 hours a week they have to dedicate to the research assistantship. And if they want to do more, then, that would be paid. So they find another 10 hours somewhere else, for instance. But then, of course, that needs to be carefully, looked at, because make sure it doesn't affect the your studies and the workload that you have.
Dr. Rashid, is this referring to the scholarship with the 10 hours of mandatory research assistance, or does it also apply to those who are self-funded?
I don't think self-funded, this is just for the ones who are, receives scholarships. But if they are self-funded, Absolutely no, they don't have to. But if they wish to gain expertise and work as a research assistants and TAs and all that, then definitely they can. They can do that. Yes.
Yeah, I would just add that there are, even if a student is self-funded, there are opportunities that exist. But these are on a competitive basis, but many of our faculty have research projects, so there are usually opportunities available.
Okay. Can we share anything about the monthly stipend for the scholarship? There are a few questions regarding that.
Well, I mean, in terms of the scholarship amount, the stipend, it's not published.
Okay, so remain patient for that. There's another question regarding the age barrier. There is 40-year-old applicants apply for a PhD program. We already answered that. There is no such thing as an age barrier. You are welcome to apply. And then let's see what else we have. Okay, so how would Dr. Rashid, how would a master for the translation in the creative industry program test an applicant's Arabic proficiency if he's a non-native speaker of Arabic?
So at this stage, so we do, there is during the interview, and there is an actual translation diagnostic test they take. So they, for just to test these, so we do the interview plus the diagnostic test.
Okay, thank you very much. Could the housing at Qatar Foundation be with family, or it's just for students? We already answered that earlier. It can be with family. We have dedicated family housing. You just have to apply for it. Is the research proposal related to digital humanities? Wait, sorry. Could be your own idea or compulsory to select a project for PhD from the ongoing projects at HBKU under the vision?
Yeah, I think the applicant, the candidate, is trying to tell us whether a PhD proposal can be innovative and completely new, or the proposal related to digital humanities, of course, can be part of the wider published research topic that we have in the digital humanities group. And I think especially for the PhD research, I would say you go for your own research. You have to come up with a completely new idea, something that interests you and is related to the wider field. Of course, it can relate to what we are doing and should be related, because otherwise we cannot supervise you. But I would suggest start with something that excites you, motivates you, and find the links and bridges to what we are doing, so we can have a collaboration that's really meaningful.
Thank you so much for answering this question. Is there anything I have missed that we haven't answered yet? I think, let me check. Yes. One more I would like to ask to Noura. Since we can apply for 2 programs, can one be a master and the second a PhD?
If you meet or fulfill the requirements for both program, you can apply for both. But you have to remember that for PhD, you have to have a master degree, and then you have to apply.
Okay, thank you very much for answering this question. I have one last question I would like to direct to Dr. Stephen before we end the session. If my research proposal is ready, do I need to submit first and wait which professor accepts to the supervisor, or do I directly submit with the online application? How would I know which projects are ongoing at our division here at HBKU, at the Humanities?
Yeah, I mean, my recommendation is before you submit your formal application, identify a supervisor in the broader field, or who actually has research and a profile related to the topic that you're going to be focusing on. Then you can at least have a conversation. And no, you do not need to be applying for a topic where a faculty has currently got, say, a research grant on it. We do supervise students in a broad range of topics, but again, it comes back to the point that we need to have the in-house capacity to actually provide supervision on that particular topic. Just to give you an illustrated example, we had a fantastic applicant. Maybe they applied for a topic to do with Latin America, but we have no Latin America specialists in the college. So that applicant would have that we wouldn't be able to accept the applicant because the topic is not something we can cover. So if your proposal is ready, send it first to your potential supervisor, get a bit of feedback from them if it's something they could in principle supervise, and then after that, then upload it to the online application system. This actually would enhance your chances of being accepted, rather than just doing a general application and then letting us filter it. It's probably better. And you can put in your covering letter which faculty you've actually spoken with as before regarding your research proposal. And this would help the filtering process in the admission stage. Because remember, we have an exceptionally large number of applicants for the PhD program. It's fiercely competitive. So if you can help us direct that, it would actually work in your favor.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we have to come to an end at some point. I would like to thank you all for your many questions you had, for attending the session. I mean, I am a student at this university, so I can highly encourage you to apply, to give your best, put a lot of effort and work into your application. And then we all wish you good luck, best of luck. We really hope you enjoyed the session. Before we really end, one last question, because I'm not sure if we can do that. Will we share this recording with every participant? Is that possible?
Riman, do you want to answer that?
We have all the information on the website, but we do not share the recording.
Okay, that answers that, because I wasn't sure. So yes, as Riman kindly answered and already pointed at, most of the questions you have, if you do some research, you will find it online. Don't hesitate to look everything up and to apply. As I said, I encourage you to do so. Good luck, and thank you so much to everything who attended and asked so many beautiful questions. And yeah, hopefully I will see you soon here at HBKU.
Thank you, and thank you, Pia, for a wonderful moderation.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you. All the best.
Bye.
Thank you.